Oh wait, you tagged me already, right?
The central bank. If you
Oh yeah, I see it. So what now I just share it with people. I never had those. I never had those. Yeah. You allergic to them? See, so Norm, when I do that, it's showing on my page to everybody, right? I gotta get hipper with this. I mean, I'm computer savvy, but there's a lot of this stuff with the sharing and the posting and stuff, like live stuff, I gotta get hip to it.
This is the Storm Warning Show. Turn the radio up. Let's go. You're listening to the Storm Warning Show at BKS1Radio.com. You're listening to the Storm Warning Show at BKS1Radio.com. Turn the radio up. BKS1. BKS1.
Who did that track for you?
BKS1Radio.com. Turn the radio up. BKS1. BKS1. BKS1Radio.com. Turn the radio up. You're listening to the Storm Warning Show at BKS1Radio.com. You're listening to the Storm Warning Show
Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
What's good, beautiful people? You know where you at. The official Storm on It. You really gonna eat like that on the show? You really gonna eat like that on the show? You know what? What's good, beautiful people? You're on BKS1 Radio, the Storm on It show. Woo, I'm calling human resources in the morning. Calling human resources. Straight up. Oh my God, oh my God. Listen, in the building. We got some great people in the building. Shout out to everybody on the check-in, man. Y'all gotta excuse my greedy partner. But let me introduce her, for those that don't know. 1/3 of the R&B group Allure. My favorite. One of my favorite.
Mine too.
That's yours too? The
Yes,
guest
sir.
said, his too. One of my favorite Puerto Ricans. Hurricane Kiss.
Hello. A Puerto Rico. A Puerto Rico. A Puerto Rico. A Puerto Rico.
I had to let the beat drop. What's good, beautiful people? You on the Storm Water Show. We're going to talk about some things tonight. Yes.
And Chocolatito himself.
Hey.
The man who makes it all happen every Thursday night, the Storm on the show. Whether rain, sleet, or snow. Bars. Stop playing with me.
Okay.
DJ Storm, Norm, El General.
Bars. All right. Shout out to everybody on checking in. Let me get some love real quick. Shout out to C. King Parker on the check-in. We see Kimberly Dion on the check-in. Mark Booth, Denise Sparrow. Everybody that's checking in. Peace and blessings. You look real like Daniel Ali. Oh, he's in the building. Listen, we got a special guest in the building, but we're going to talk about that shortly. But again, hope everybody's doing well. Kiss, what you been up to? What's going on with you?
Just been home with the family. The holidays just passed. Kind of melancholy, but kind of happy that it's over. All the hustle and bustle.
How I just turned her mic on.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, same old. Traveling with the girls, getting ready for GAG. GAG is our new podcast. It stands for Grown Ass Girls.
Yes.
And Norm knows why.
And guess what?
Yes.
I feel like I was left out because your mic was actually off by mistake.
Oh.
So I'm going to need my introduction again. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So, to my left is the HNIC, El Chocolatito himself. Right? The man with the plan. Every Thursday night, rain, sleet, or snow. We always got a show. Bars again.
Bars.
DJ Storm on the General.
There you go. All right, we back. We had a few technical difficulties, but we are back.
We on.
Listen, we got a special guest in the building.
Yes.
Director, writer, all of that. Filmmaker.
All around great guy.
Yeah, great guy. Daniel Ali is in the building.
Yes.
He's going to talk about his new film and what's going on with him. But we're going to talk about a lot what's going on around the world. You know how we do. We're going to talk about specific topics and certain things that everybody's been discussing and talking about. So listen, no matter what platform you're watching us on, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, whatever, click the share button. Share it out right now. Just reach your finger.
That's it.
And share it out and click that share button right now. BKS1 Radio Storm Warning Show. Shout out to... I see. Shout out to Poppy. Poppy Prayer is in the building.
Hey.
Listen, there was a group that Jam Master Jay had back in the day called The Family. The Family.
I remember.
And Poppy Prayer was one of the members.
That's
He's
dope.
listening to us right now on the Stone
Salute,
Morning
salute
Show.
to you.
So shout out to him. And you know what? Listen, Daniel Ali's no stranger to BKS on Radio, the Stone Morning Show. He's been here before, whatever. So I'm just going to bring him right in and everything so he can just join in on the discussions. He's in the building. And we're going to talk about a lot. But let me go to, let me see what I want to go to first. Right off the bat, did y'all see The Color Purple?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. So you haven't seen it yet? Are you going to see it?
I am. Despite what everybody's been saying, I'm gonna still go see it.
I seen it. I'm gonna keep it 300 with y'all. All right. I went in not trying to compare it to the movie because I knew it was a musical.
Right.
It was great.
Okay.
It was good. You felt good leaving it. People in the theaters, and I went to go see the late show, the last show. You know, people like
sleeping.
You know, but everybody was engaged. They did a great job.
And that was what I heard the most, that most people were disappointed because people who aren't into musicals were upset that it was a musical because, but to each his own, so.
No, but they said that. They promoted it as a musical.
Why would you go to a musical if you don't
If
like
you knew
music?
it.
Yeah.
When you knew what it was. Right?
I can't stand, let me tell y'all, I cannot stand, Storm Norm cannot stand musicals. Really? I'm one of those dudes that did not see Grease.
Oh, man, what?
I never saw Grease.
What?
I never saw Grease.
West Side Story?
I saw when they, she just walked off the show because I didn't see Grease.
Yeah, I mean, I think
as far as West Side Story, when they did the remake, Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, whatever, they did something.
Well, it's funny that
from
you
the
would
play.
say the remake with Romeo and Juliet because actually West Side Story is a remake.
Yeah,
of
it's
Romeo
based
and Juliet.
and it's based on that. But
Yeah.
I forgot what the name of theirs was with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Romeo Must Die, I think.
Something.
I don't. Romeo Must Die was with Aaliyah and Jet Li.
and Jet Li.
Oh,
Nah.
okay.
But they did like a an actual story without it being a musical.
So you've never seen West Side Story either?
I've seen bits and pieces, but when they started going, and brother, and all that was in it, I was like, man, nah.
I really feel like texting Bernardo and Chino to come in here right now and beat you because that is despicable.
No, but
Norm.
listen, I'm gonna sit down one day,
Please.
with Sandy, you, whatever, my peoples, whatever, and watch Grease
This summer.
on West Side Story. All right.
West Side
Because
Story.
I'm not a musical person. So,
But the original
Yeah.
one from the 60s.
The new one was okay. It wasn't bad, but the original one, Natalie Wood, and
yeah. So that automatically kind of, I was like, because I saw Color Purple the movie, and already knew not to go in expecting the movie.
Right.
But everybody was saying that this musical was going to be more similar to the book,
right,
and the Broadway play. And another thing that made me see it, one, was because of the actors that were in it.
Yeah,
like
Fantasia,
Taraji, Fantasia,
Coleman Domingo,
Danielle, what's her name?
Oh,
Brooks,
Danielle from Orange is the New Black.
Yeah. Is it Brooks? I don't want to mess up her name, but I forgot. But anyway,
she's dope. I love her.
They were all good actors, and then everybody else that was in it was just awesome, right? So I said, I gotta see the movie. Let me just go see it for myself. And what I hate what people do before they see it. Nah, I ain't gonna see. Why do I want to see it? I've seen it already. I've seen the movie already. Why would I want to see this? And blah 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 blah. Well, one, it's 40 years later, right? So that's one. It's 40 years later.
Yeah, it's Brooks.
And then plus, it was also a black director, right? So when you look at that, so I'm showing y'all right now the picture, the Color Purple, right? And here's the director of the movie, was Blitz Bazawule, right? And I hope I got his name right.
Say that again.
Blitz Bazawule. I'll say it 10 times, right? And then, we already know Oprah's behind it, executive producer and all of that, right? So I seen so many people coming at it negatively. And I'm like, I didn't even see the movie yet. And then people took Taraji's whole spiel about how being treated in Hollywood and that she never got a fair share.
Right.
And this and that. They directed it directly at Oprah, right? Without knowing how the business works, right? So, you know, when she was crying, and we talked about it last week on the show when you wasn't here. And shout out to Ms. Vaughn that filled in for you last week. But I'm like, yo, give it a chance, and then realize this is a black film. Alice Walker, black woman, who originally wrote it. You know, wrote the book. The first adaptation was I gotta give myself a pound on that adaptation. But the first adaptation was Steven Spielberg, and everything came from him. This one was with a black director, and Oprah was the executive producer. Now I get it. Some of us have our reservations about Oprah. I get all of that. But there's a time where we got to think that if we don't support something, right? And I want to say this to everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice. When you don't support anything, if you don't support your house with support beams, if you don't support a startup business that you may start with, anything you don't support eventually crumbles, falls. It's done with. It's a wrap. It can't survive if it's not supported, right? And so the reason why I said I think we should see this on opening day, and I put up this post, and then people, you know, they went in on this post. I put up this post on Facebook. I put up this post on social media. I said, there's levels to why we should support black films at the box office on its opening week.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. We can be critics afterwards. I said that for a reason. Because if we don't hit it on opening week or when it first jumps off or whatever like that, right? It's going to be harder for black films to get the respect it deserves. Why am I saying that? Because you know what? Common denominator was told to black actresses and actors when they asked, well, why can't I get what Brad Pitt got? Why can't I get what Meryl Streep got?
Numbers.
Because black people don't translate well overseas. But this is what they tell us.
Right.
And Taraji mentioned that as well. In her rant and her outpouring, she mentioned that that's what she was told. That our faces don't translate well overseas.
That's crap.
So when Norm puts up a post saying, yo, we need to support this on opening day. Why? Because all these people do and all these studios do is pay attention to numbers. That's all they care about. They pay attention to numbers, right? So if on opening day, Color Purple tanked and like they only made like 700,000, right, or whatever like that, and the next time Oprah or Daniel Ali or Spike Lee or somebody goes in and try to get a certain amount for a budget, hey, I want to produce a movie about Black Wall Street. Give them $1.5 million. Give them $1.5 million. Why? Because black faces don't translate well overseas. Nobody's spending money on black films to go see black films. Why you say this, Norm? Oprah had a problem getting money from the studios. They offered her to do this film, Warner Brothers, $30 million. Oprah was like, huh? Well, we're going to give you $30 million. So you know what if you make films, you know what you got to cover with that. The sound effects, paying the actors, the sets, the different sets, the locations, craft services, the flights, the travel, the this, the that, the editing, whatever like that. In today's big major motion picture budgets, you can't do it with $30 million. That's what they wanted to give Oprah, Miss Billionaire herself. She said, no, can't do it for that. I'm going to tell you why. She went in with her team, her people, whatever, and they negotiated more, and she got more money for the film. All right? She got more money for the film. But this is across the board, because when I said we got to start supporting black films on its opening week, not just talking about Oprah, Oprah is not black films. All black films. Anything with our faces in it, where we're the lead, or we're the directors, or it's our film, or whatever the case may be, we have to support it more. We could fight about it later. We could fight about it later. We could be critics later. But if we want our films to survive for the masses, we have to support them. Go ahead.
No, I agree with you 100% in that. But I would like to take it a step further and say that not only do we need to support as consumers, we need to get to a place where we begin to understand that we can fund our own projects, that we have enough resources amongst ourselves so that we don't have to go to other people to get the funding to support our films. So I'm in no way disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying that I would be very happy when the day comes when black people grow up politically, economically, and begin to understand that we can do more together than we can separate. Absolutely. And again, like I had said earlier, we have to get to a place where we understand that it's wrong for us to sit around at the feet of other people begging for the crumbs that fall from their table, like the Bible's Lazarus, when we can get up and make a table for ourselves.
Facts. And listen, I'm going to clap it up for that. But it just behooves me, and I get it, man. Listen, the whole thing, do you, and all of that. But I'm saying, if we want our films to survive, we want our creativity to survive, we have to support it.
I agree. Right.
And this is all I'm saying.
I agree.
I got my own reservations with just Oprah, but it wasn't just about Oprah.
Right, it's bigger than her.
It's bigger than Oprah. It's way bigger than what you may feel about Oprah, whatever. It's way bigger than that. Systematically, if we don't support us, we perish.
Well, there it is. Right
I'm
there.
telling you, right now, we perish.
And that's across the board.
Right.
So you push that hate aside, push your little beefs aside, whatever like that, and realize we got to start thinking bigger. When you start thinking like, I'm not going to see it because of this or whatever, you think it's small.
Yeah, it's us against us.
And you're being selfish.
Agreed.
But we need that infrastructure.
Yeah. And you're being selfish. We got to get out of that, man. And it's like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to see it again after the new year. Take a friend to see it, whatever that wants to go, whatever one of my wife's friends, co-workers, whatever wants to see it. But she wants to see it with some of us, whatever, because she's not one of us, but she wants to see it with some of us. and we're going to go rep the film again.
She want to see it and be safe.
I ain't saying that. But, but all I'm saying is, and then we're going to go into some other things, is that we got to start supporting us a little bit more. And because it was a fantastic job they did on the movie. And it supposedly broke records. And let me put this up. Let me see if Kiss, hold on, not that. I don't want you to read that. Not that. I want you to read that. I'm not even, I don't even have it.
What you sent me?
What I want you to read. But anyway, the film made $18 million opening day.
Nice.
It made 18. Let's clap it up for that.
That's awesome.
It made 18 million opening day, and then 2 days after, another 7 million on the second day. It made another 7 million on the second day, and this is supposed to be domestically, right? So we're not even talking about worldwide because film broke in other areas. Now, and then the other thing too is, a lot of times they report our numbers wrong when it comes to us. So if you're going up against a Wonka and you're going up against Aquaman, the Marvel,
which was garbage.
Yeah, but if you're going up against those movies or whatever, and you got a black film or whatever, they're always going to try to misrepresent our numbers.
Right.
Sure.
So this is why it's important to look at your ticket when you buy it. When you get the stub, even if you're doing it online, make sure it says color purple and all of that. If it don't say, be like, nah, I didn't order Aquaman. I ordered color purple.
Right.
And because we're always under attack. And I have to say it like that. Business-wise, personal-wise, whatever, we come under attack. So make sure you check your tickets and all of that. But that was the reasoning for my post. And it wasn't just related to Color Purple. It's related to black films, our content, period. and we could beef about it later, like I said,
agree.
after. All right? Yep. So with that being said, shout out to everybody that's coming in. I see y'all trickling in. Shout out to everybody that shared the show. And we got a lot of things to talk about. Do a few more things before we get with our guests. Another thing. Let's talk about this real quick. So AI. So y'all heard about what happened at the Tesla laboratory with that's all right, bro. We take that out of the first check that you get for the film.
Royalty check.
Yeah, first royalty check you get from the film, we take that right out. But what happened at the Tesla factory where the robot attacked the engineer?
Yeah, I was reading about that.
The robot attacked the engineer. Now, if that's not
a sign,
iRobot coming to life.
Yeah, seriously.
And I got a little clip of a reporter just talking about it. But here's the clip. We need to talk about this thing, man, because it's in a few years, AI is going to be all over the place. AI robots is going to be doing every daggone thing. It's starting now.
And you know, one of the things, before you show the clip, one of the things that's really disturbing for me is I've watched that. You know, I'm very much into soccer. That's what you call soccer here in this country.
Shout out to Ingrid.
Shout out to CIFA, City International Football Academy. That's my group. But you know, I watch a lot of the videos, and I've seen you know like after like a basketball game, the coaches after they have their press conferences, and I'm watching videos that people are posting of coaches saying outlandish things about players and things, and then I'm looking and I'm watching, I'm thinking, wait, something, and I see the mouth is not 100% right. It's AI, and they're admitting that it's AI, but the point is, this is as crude as it probably ever will be. What's going to happen when this thing is really perfected? And now video, you used to be, well, we got the video to prove it. Video will no longer be able to be used in court as a proof because it can be manipulated.
Yeah, and they got ways of checking it, to authenticate things, but it's just getting dangerous, man.
Yeah,
it's getting real dangerous, and it's making me nervous. But when I heard that about Tesla, I'm like, wow. Let's check out the clip, and let's discuss it a little further. Here's the clip.
In the latest in AI horror from the real world, a robot attacked a Tesla engineer during a brutal malfunction. According to a 2021 injury report by Tesla, the shocking incident took place at Tesla's Texas factory. The 2021 report said that witnesses saw the robot pin the engineer working on nearby robots. A malfunction led the robot to sink its metal claws into the worker's back and arm, leaving a trail of blood across the factory floor. The details were revealed in Tesla's 2021 annual compliance report to the Travis County and federal regulators. The injury report revealed an open wound on the engineer's left hand. The report revealed that Tesla gave 0 days off to the injured worker for recovery. Such incidents raised concerns about the risk of using automated robots in the workplace. Incidents like injuries at Amazon centers due to robotic coworker problems with killer.
Have either of you seen the movie Leave the World Behind?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I seen
Remember the scene with the Tesla cars leaving the factory and just crashing
And
on
they're all
the
crashing. That
Yeah.
ending blew mine completely. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. Now, see, this is crazy. So you got an engineer that got harmed, blood trail on the floor from one of these robots. No days off. Thanks,
But this is not the
Elon.
first time, because didn't it start with the AI, the robotic dog?
Yeah.
Like it's been happening. Like
No, there's a lot of examples. They just don't report it.
Right.
But there's a lot,
Yeah, they're gonna keep
if
it
you,
out on their
If you
web.
dig for it, I mean, you can get it. They're just not going to be forthcoming with it. You got to do the work to find out about it.
Shout out to Tiffany Barker on the check-in. Shout out to everybody checking in. Ingrid Judge. Hey, Ingrid. Yeah, listen, and the phone lines are open. Let me put the phone number up there for y'all. The phone lines are open. You can call in 646-233-1302. Again, that number is 646-233-1302.
02.
Yes, you can call in with your comments, or you can put them right there in the comment section. We will read your comments on the Storm Warning Show. And one more thing real quick before I go in, because I need your honest opinion about something, right? Because I was looking at this, and I heard about it. Somebody had called me about it, too. It's like, yo, Norm, do you think this referee was wrong? This ref is a referee for kids' games, football games. So they were acting unruly, really being disrespectful, right? The kids were this what I heard the pre-story was. And they wasn't listening and wasn't paying attention to the ref's calls and this and that, whatever the case may be. And it was, a lot of horseplay on the field. So the ref spoke his mind to the kids. Was he wrong or was he right? I want y'all to tell me your honest opinion. Here's the clip.
The whistle, okay? I don't give a fuck what color jersey you're wearing. Help each other up off the ground. Understand? And if you guys do any fucking bullshit, I will throw you the fuck out of this game. You understand me? I am in a bad mood, okay? Okay? Don't piss me off even more. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. Because I am not fucking around. Understand that? Yes, sir. I know you think it's funny, but I will throw you out of this fucking game right now. Understand? The whistle, okay? I don't give a fuck what color jersey you're wearing. Help each other up off the ground. Understand? And if you guys do any fucking bullshit, I will throw you the fuck out of this game. You understand me? I am in a bad mood, okay? Okay? Don't piss me off even more. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. Because I am not fucking around. Understand that? Yes, sir. I know you think it's funny, but I will throw you out of this fucking game right now. Understand? The whistle, okay?
Woo! Wow. Thoughts. Kiss. Thoughts. Kiss. I'm saying.
Well, Norm, we played sports growing up.
Like,
right.
What?
In our day, that kind of thing happened all the time. Does it make it right? No.
It just seemed like he was just in a bad mood overall. He just used it as a reason to just be.
vent.
I've seen refs go crazy on teams, but I don't think I've ever heard it like that. To be honest, honestly, I've never.
I think it's a bad example.
Yeah,
so
that's not
the
true.
ref was wrong.
What he was saying wasn't wrong. The way he said it.
The delivery.
Right, it's the delivery. Because he's still in a professional setting. You still got to be professional, even in your delivery of your words.
I mean, even let's say if a ref was doing that at an NFL game, it would still be considered inappropriate and unprofessional. You're dealing with young people.
Right.
And even though what you're telling them is correct, your delivery is telling them something different.
Right.
So.
All right. Ingrid said, ha ha ha, he had enough. Their parents are probably the first to call other people snowflakes. And then Tiff said, they hear worse at home. Facts. She also said, well, I bet they started acting right after that. Yo.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's true.
Ingrid said, Ref said, F them kids.
He literally.
Listen.
He did not care.
So should he be fired?
No, I don't think so.
No? Don't fire him?
But I think he should definitely get I think he should definitely get a warning. Yeah,
he should be reprimanded, but I wouldn't
like
fire
be assertive.
Don't fire him.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go that far.
All right.
I mean, unless we, this is a pattern of behavior that's been going on, and we just.
Because that's the first time that it was caught on video. Who knows how many times prior to that?
But my question is, like with this, not only that, with the space moon landing, who the hell was filming that?
Right.
That he didn't see right on the field next to him filming that.
He probably didn't care.
I heard one of the kids was filming it. Like, that didn't have nothing to do with that group. That was just around there.
On the field of play?
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Y'all know what it is. Now, listen. We got some other issues we want to dove into deep. But before we do, we're going to bring on officially our guest, director, the filmmaker, the writer, Mr. Daniel Ali.
Yes.
Welcome him to the show. Again. Third time, right?
Third time.
Yeah.
Third time is a charm.
Was I here twice or once here before this?
You were here twice.
And then I was on Zoom one time, so this is the fourth time.
Fourth time. Wow. All right, so he's a regular friend to the show, regular friend to the show.
Yeah.
Now, let's tell everybody, first of all, introduce yourself to the world again, and then tell everybody what you're here for.
Well, first, I want to always, like I do, I want to thank you and Kiss for allowing me to come here and be with you. I really enjoy being here. And like you said, this feels like home to me. You know, it's funny. Me and Kiss were just on the phone last night, just talking, and I was just like, "Yeah, you know, I need to come back. I want to come to the show." He's like, "You know, you always come. Norm, we want you anytime." She said, "Well, maybe next week or whenever you. What are you doing tomorrow?" I'm like, "Hey, I ain't doing nothing, as a matter of fact." So here I am. So thank you for this. I mean, this is a great platform, and you guys have been very supportive of me from the very beginning with Loving the Game when we first started.
Yes.
As a book, and then, you know, as the film, and I owe a lot to you guys, and so I'm honored and appreciate you having me.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, what you got going on there, man?
Well, we have one of my new films, the latest film, Delilah, is coming out. It's going to be available on February 14th, 2024. That's Valentine's Day, for those who don't know. That story, thank you. It's going to be on the American New Network. So if you got Apple TV, Fire TV, or Android TV, or Roku, means you'll have access to the film. You'll be able to see it in all of its entirety. I want to, before I go any further, I got to give a big, big shout out to my man Omar Salgado, who is with American New Network. This brother is phenomenal brother. I mean, when you were talking about earlier about supporting black films and so on and so forth, Omar is just, bro, he's that brother that sits in the gap for filmmakers in between us and the business side of it, and makes sure that we get an opportunity to have our content, you know, presented. He's been so supportive and helpful to me from the very beginning. He's the reason that Loving the Game ended up getting onto Tubi. And he's now the reason why Delilah is going to be playing on the platforms that it's playing on. And I just got to give him a lot of credit. And it's not just me. He does this for filmmakers all around. He's a tremendous brother, tremendous talent, and actor in his own right, a filmmaker in his own right. And he's just, you know, really that dude. He's also the director of acquisitions for Dame Dash. So he's, you know, great brother. So, yes, Delilah is coming out officially now. It's been a long time. Kish is in the film. Norm, you got a part in the film as well. Don't act like you don't know.
I just walked past. That's it. I just walked past.
This film was brought up the right way. I think it shows my growth, too, as a filmmaker, coming from the first project that we did, which is Loving the Game, where it was like, hurry up, shoot it, get it done, edit it, put it out. And I've learned from then how to cultivate a project and to allow a project to mature and to develop in its own right. Loving the Game, as I said, is currently still playing on Tubi and doing very well. So I wasn't rushing to put Delilah out because why have both of my projects competing against each other? So we held it, you know, for the right time, like a wine that was aging properly, and the time was right. And, you know, I spoke with Omar and the people at American New, and we put it together. And now here we are. We're ready to go. The film stars Michelle Batista, who plays the title role of Delilah. Also, Jonathan H. Reagans, who plays her co-star in the film. It's a story about a recently divorced, middle-aged college professor who falls in love with a young college graduate student that is in the school where he works. And, you know, he's been dealing with some issues for his wife having left him and so on and so forth. So he's kind of going through it, and he's a very kind of jaded and closed kind of person.
Now, how old is this guy around?
The character is 48. And she's 24.
And she's 48 and 24. Gotcha. What do y'all think about a 48-year-old dating a 24-year-old? Is there anything wrong with that? I want your opinions.
Now. Huh? I think it's kind of the
norm now. Is it cool now?
I mean,
all right.
Whatever floats your boat.
Well, and you know what?
Is she a mature 28?
24.
24. Oh, wow. Excuse me. Is she a mature 24?
Well, see, that's the thing. Wow. If the age difference was just the issue in itself, it wouldn't be probably as bad as it is.
Right.
But Delilah has some secrets that she's been hiding, and it's rooted in some trauma in her past. So the film deals with some very sensitive topics, you know, drug addiction and sexual abuse and things of this nature, and it all culminates into a very what's the word we're looking for? Toxic relationship between the two of them, though they really love each other very much. Right. So the question is asked, you know, two parts of it. One, does love conquer all? Does it really conquer all? And the other question that is really in there is, if you could know everything that there is to know about the person that you love, would you want to? And if you did, would you still love them?
Facts, because I know when we discussed it before, you was talking about there's some issues with addiction.
Yes.
In this particular film, so that's a whole other issue.
That's a whole other issue.
Being a functional addict.
A functional addict, an addict who is functional enough to where, you know, you could deceive the person that's closest to you for a period. They don't know that you have this problem, but eventually, like my mother used to tell me when I was young, it all comes out in the wash.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Has anybody, and listen, you know I'm going to put y'all listeners on the spot too. Has anybody ever been a functioning addict? And would you actually call it and admit that? Or have you ever dealt with someone that was a functioning addict?
You know, it's interesting, Norm. I want to add this to you while callers are thinking about that. Well, you know, first of all, one of the things I always strive for in my writing is to make it as real as I possibly can. I pride myself on not trying to filter the truth, or even for the sake of art, I try to be as authentic and real as I can. So the characters that I write, all of them are usually rooted in some kind of truth. And this functional addiction, this functional addict, is actually rooted in a person that was very close to me, who for 40 years concealed a heroin addiction.
Wow.
Made it through military service, made it through a full career at one of the major universities in the country, maintained a family and the appearance of family life, and went on, and, you know, doing all the things that we would consider to be normal and successful in life, yet a heroin addict the whole time.
That is insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
So. Wow. Well, I'm definitely interested in seeing the film in its entirety.
Yeah.
I know one of the co-stars in the film. I know her personally. We call her Hurricane Kiss.
And she did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. Absolutely. When we showed the film to the small audiences that we showed it to, and people in the industry, you were always singled out as someone that brought light to the story and she definitely did. I mean,
nice.
It was nerve-wracking playing somebody's mother.
Nice.
Even though I am, but in that aspect, you know what I mean, like having to deal with just putting yourself in character and into the character to be able to play someone who's actually the mother of someone who's a functioning addict is crazy. You know what I mean?
Listen, I already know how you rock. You get down, partner. Listen. If y'all look real close, if you get some bifocals and you look real close, you'll see me somewhere in the film picking up some garbage. Like in one of the street scenes. Like somewhere, like I'm down there like, is there a garbage can, sir? And that's it.
Well,
so, I'm gonna.
But but again, talking about maturity and developing from an artistic standpoint, you won't know until you go through this, the stress and the trepidation you have when you produce a film like this, and you're going through the editing process, and you have a story, because again, this film is based on a book that I wrote. So I know the story is very personal to me.
Right.
And, so going through it, and, when you go through the casting and you select people to play different roles in the film, and you give them a role, and they go through and you do all of the filming, you do all the work, everybody shows up, they're giving their best effort, they're doing their best job, and the film comes out and it's good, and you're working through the editing process, and your editor's like, yo, this is hurting the film. This is slowing the film down. This is making it drag. This is doing that. And you're fighting for what ends up on the cutting room table.
Right. No, I know how it goes.
And what doesn't. You know, that was a tough process for me. And, you know, but it helped me to grow because I realized it's not personal, but at the same time, it's like, oh, well, that's my man, and I like this part. But I'm telling you, and you know, the scene that you were in, that we did all of the dialogue in.
You said words, so you heard that, right?
No, you're still there.
It's coming.
But
You're still there.
the scene that you were in, with all the heavy dialogue that we had, things just had to be changed.
Right.
In order to help the story flow along.
Right.
And so a lot of it, you know, because the story is going, and then you hit this place, and it's like, boom. And then what happens? It's like...
I'm out, Kiss.
Get on my nerves.
But I think when you see it, I mean, minus the loss of the dialogue, I think when you see it, you'll still, you know, you still see yourself very prominently in the scene, and you know, it's hard. But you know what? Now I understand why they do things. I've seen like director's cuts of films and things like that. Now I understand why that happens. Because it gives the director an opportunity to come back at a later point and say, well, look, I'm going to make it now the way I wanted it to be. Because when you hire an editor to do a job, one of the things I do just in my life is I believe in, whether it's someone that's above me or someone that's a subordinate to me, either give me a job and let me do my job. Right. I give you a job, I expect you to do your job. I'm not going to ride you and tell you how to do what you're doing. So when you hire an editor, you know, to bring his skills to the project, you have to trust him and let him do what he did. And Corey Brumfield was the editor of the film. And I think when you see the film, you'll agree he did a fantastic job.
I know Corey.
Yeah, he was very patient. He's from the Bronx, too, actually. Very, very patient with me. We fought, over and over. We fought over, you know, what was going to get cut, what was going to get changed, this, that, and other thing. And he was very patient, very calm and easy with it, but very persistent. Yeah. And pushing back against me on things that needed to be pushed back. And I'm glad that he did that, and I'm glad that I was able to have enough humility to accept it, because I think it worked out for the best.
I got a clip.
Yes. You want to set it up?
Yeah, I got a clip.
Let me tell him what it is.
Go ahead.
This is the clip that you're about to see is the first time that Delilah brings Nicholas, played by Jonathan Reagans, home to meet her parents, who is Kiss and another extremely funny, great young guy, Anthony Quinones. He plays Delilah's father. And when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But this is what happens when she first brings Nicholas home.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
They don't know how old he is or anything, because she's never told them. So this is their first chance meeting this Nicholas that she's been talking about. They've never seen him or know anything about him. And so this is the father's reaction.
All right, y'all know what it is. Storm Warner Show. Here's the clip. Delilah, Hurricane Kiss.
Lila talks about you all the time. Although, it looks like you left a few things as a surprise.
I apologize.
Mommy, déjame tranquila. I know you're not tripping because Dicky's older than me. We're in the 21st century, girl. Listen, I ain't gonna let society dictate who I can or cannot date. Besides, me and Nikki, we have a special connection, right, mi amor?
Yeah, I would say we do.
Okay. Right.
Where's everybody?
I'm on favor. Pass me the chicken, please. Okay. Please.
Smells good.
Anyway, your father's upstairs looking through his closet to try to figure out what outfit he wants to wear when he embarrasses himself.
Always.
Yeah, always. And Miguelito and Sugeri, you know, they're acting like their cousin. They don't want to be around family, so it's just going to be us tonight. I'm surprised you're even here.
Oh, okay. I see. Mommy, well, the food looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yo, llegó papi shampoo, que es la que hay.
Ajá, papi, you look nice.
Hey, Laila, mi princesa, ¿cómo estás, mi amor?
Bendición, papi. Guay.
Yo te cuidé. ¿Cómo estás?
Ay, gracias. ¿Y tú?
Who's this?
Oh, papi, I wanted to introduce you to my boyfriend, Nikki. Nikki, this is my papi.
How you doing?
Boyfriend?
Felix.
You said boyfriend. Aren't you a little too old to be playing boyfriend?
Felix.
I'm still trying to get used to it myself.
Really? Boyfriend? So how old are you?
Papi.
48.
Ah, no. Yo me cago en 10
Papi, pero
carajos.
mami, hablo con él. Ya.
Really?
Por favor, no hago una escena.
Papi,
Yes,
soy una
really.
adulta.
Boyfriend, really?
Felix, ya.
48.
Es una
Really?
adulta.
Mío. Stop it. This man is Lila's friend and he's a guest in our home. No vamos a hacer esto, ¿oíste? Nikki, don't pay him no mind. You hear what I'm saying to you, papi? None whatsoever. You're a guest in our home and you're welcome here whenever you want to come. Felix, do me the favor. Un gran favor. Cállate esa boca and take him in the living room until we get dinner prepared, please.
Yo me cago,
Ahora.
yo me cago en 10, ¿ok? Yo no entiendo porque yo no puedo
Vete para
preguntarle
allá,
cuántos
shut it
años tiene,
up.
carajo.
You don't bring, you see? The outfit, that's what's doing it. Louis Vuitton payaso, coño.
Why is he so
Okay.
embarrassing, mommy?
Yo, Pops wasn't having it. Pops was not having it.
Now, hey, let me ask you, Norm, was he right or was he wrong?
Well, here you go. 48, 24. So that's half the age, basically. Yeah, I'm gonna have some reservations.
I mean,
about
if you look in, this is the book actually that it was based on. The book is called Across the Middle, and in the story, he's basically Nicholas is like the same age as her parents, so they were.
You weren't having it.
Yeah. Kiss, you didn't seem too happy either about it, honestly.
I mean, listen, I had to put myself in a and I had to think with this perspective of how would I feel if my daughter came home, and my daughter's 28 now, but if she was 24 coming home with a 48-year-old, I would have been like Felix, like me cago en 10 también, because it's like what, you know what I mean? But I think it also comes from the fact that we've lived in those times where that type of situation was okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you,
right.
Even going back to The Color Purple, when you go to the original one, how they were marrying 14-year-olds and 13-year-olds, and the parents, the fathers were just giving them away
That ain't
at
cool.
the same time having sex with their daughters. So it's like, when you think about stuff like that, and then now living in a time where, we actually have standards and morals, and we know like we have to protect our
16
daughters.
is statutory.
Exactly. So
Right.
imagine, but
Do y'all have a problem with, again, a 48-year-old man dating a 24-year-old woman? Because remember, some 48-year-old women date 23 and 22-year-old men.
Yeah. We have 70-something-year-old women.
Do
now
y'all have a
dating
problem with that?
40-something.
Put it in the comment section or call in. I want to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to know. Again, we're here with director, filmmaker, writer Daniel Ali, author as well. And I'm excited to see this now.
Yeah,
I want to see where it goes.
I had a question for you. I never asked you before. It's funny because when me and Norm kind of first started with getting the little acting chops together, we did a play together.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when I first realized, I was like, yo, Norm is dope. Yeah. Like, he's charismatic, funny, and all that good stuff. Would you ever consider turning one of your books or movies into a play?
Absolutely. It's funny thing is, originally, I believe, there's a saying behind every, great accomplishment, there's a whole team of people. The whole reason that I'm here today, that I'm doing films, is because of really my cousin, Deshaun Gandy, who directed Love in the Game for me. He was the one that really inspired me. He had been into acting and filmmaking and things for a while, and plays in particular. He's been nominated many times for Best Play and things of this nature. He's very, very good at directing those things and writing plays. And, he was the one that really inspired me and encouraged me once he read the book, the first one that I wrote, to act. And I told him I wanted to do a film. He was the one that really inspired me to go through with it. And he and I had sat and talked a long time ago about actually making Love in the Game a stage play. So, yes, to answer your question is, yeah, I would love to do something like that. And now that we've gotten past all of the COVID madness, it's really something that I would want to consider more. I do have, 2 other projects. I got a short film that I just finished that I was telling you about that's called In the Warm Light of Forever. It's a short film made specifically for film festivals that we're going to introduce it to this year. And then in May, we're going to be shooting a new film called Her Life that we've already begun pre-production on. But once that's done, I think that would be the next thing that I would be interested in doing.
Doing plays?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
either, I don't know about plays in general, but at least a play on either Love in the Game or Delilah as a stage play. I think that would be an interesting process. I would definitely want to most likely probably bring someone else in to direct it because plays and films are completely different. So I would want to again, and probably Deshaun would be somebody that I would would lean on for that because he has the experience. So.
No doubt, no doubt. And listen, when you do that play, expand on that senator part, on that senator role.
Absolutely.
Expand on Bilal's character a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Funny dude. Anyway.
You want to do more than pick up garbage?
Listen. Yeah. Just walking by. It's people be like, what's that, Norm? Listen, shout out to everybody on the check-in. Listen, shout out to Kaz on the check-in. Shout out to Terrence Harris. Terrence Harris said the mom carried that scene. Applause.
Oh,
let's clap it up for my girl, Kiz.
Shout out to Michelle, though, and Jonathan. That's so dope.
No, they awesome.
Like, Michelle is, like, super.
I had fun. Listen.
Oh, my God.
I had fun. It was an experience.
Yeah, but it's crazy because, like, I really was able to, like, really dive deep into Michelle more when we had that the rehearsal.
The rehearsals.
And we did like I forgot what you called it.
When we did the hot seat.
The hot seat. Where we basically like put ourselves in positions to, to act out the scenes even more, but like it was just like real improv, ad-lib, whatever. Yeah. And like she really showed her like her whole culito that night. Cuz I was just like I used to always say that has to be hard playing like an addict or like like an alcoholic or something like that when you're not that or when you've never experienced that type of thing. And the way she just like completely went from Michelle to like, what I mean? I was just like, yo, like what the hell, So shout out to her, like she's super dope.
Yeah, she's dope. She's dope. Let's clap it up for Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And shout out to everybody chiming in. And the cast said, "Hey, Kiss."
Hey.
Yes. Now listen, I got a question. So, a few people hit me up today. They knew he was doing this show today. They was like, Norm, could you just talk a little bit more about, I know you're going to talk about The Color Purple, which we did earlier in the show and everything. And can you talk about cancel culture a little bit more? About what do you really feel about cancel culture? And it's taking a lot of people out. Like, is there any room for forgiveness if you make a mistake? And I thought about that. I thought about it, and I'm like, let's see who's getting canceled, right? So, yeah, we already know about the R. Kellys and the Bill Cosbys, or whatever like that. Anything to me with involving pedophilia, whatever, canceled, done. But I look at the Jonathan Major situation, right? I look at a few other situations that they're saying it has happened or whatever the case may be. Is there any room for redemption? And it's funny, I never expected to hear from a woman that's a heavy hitter in the business to say this cancel culture basically needs to be done with. And a woman said that, very prominent woman in the industry, and guess who she was on the stage with? Oprah Winfrey. Taraji P. Henson just broke the interview a little bit to speak her piece, a real quick piece on cancel culture. I'm going to play the clip. Okay. Here's the clip. If I could find the clip. Here's the clip. All right.
Especially with such a crazy year.
I would like to hope and pray that people know and understand that we don't have space for cancel culture in humanity. Because if Mr. was a real man today and all of what he did to Celie was blasted all over Instagram, he'd be canceled. But what a horrible ending for him, because then there's no time for him to redeem himself, for him to own up to what he did wrong and make amends. How can we judge people? Who are we to say one sin is worse than the other? how do I throw a stone and I'm living in a glass house? We all live in glass houses. You know, if Jesus can forgive, what makes you think you can't?
Man, come on now. Come on, Bishop.
I told you. Preaching all day.
I mean, okay. Now, I got to clap it up for that.
100% agree.
Because I see people's whole lives. Everybody, again, all of us have flaws. All of us make mistakes, right? So, you know, in a case like Jonathan Majors, I think like Marvel or whoever is behind him or whatever like that, I think the industry itself should be like, listen, okay, bro, let's take him, let him go to an anger management class, whatever the case may be. Let him go through a domestic violence awareness program or something like that, whatever. Let him come out of it, have a new perspective on things, and he should be able to work again. Right? Certain situations, I don't think it should take away your whole life.
I agree.
Yeah.
In cancel culture, you know, because now anybody could come forward and say, I saw Kiss do this, I saw Daniel do this, I saw Norm do this, or whatever like that. And it's not even 100% true or nowhere true.
Right.
And you get dropped from this, you get dropped from that, you get isolated. You know, sometimes even your own family and friends is like, you know, whatever. And it's all, you know, like no redemption or no type of rehabilitation is involved in that.
Right.
Who suffers the most?
Right.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of something Chanel read. Shout out to her. She posted something very similar to that today. I'm probably going to jack it up, but it was something like, I wish we paid more attention to our sins as we do everybody else's. You know what I mean?
You know,
because we're quick to always judge. We're quick to always say, I fall, you know, this, that, and the third about everybody else's, you know, shortcomings or mistakes, whatever the case is, and then act like our nails are clean.
Well, you know, that's like they say, the eye beholds everything except itself.
Absolutely.
For me, as a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad through Minister Louis Farrakhan, you know, I think about who I was before and who I've been blessed to grow to become, and hopefully who I will become tomorrow.
Right.
You know, if you just took who I was and used that as a yardstick against me, then where would I be? You know, you want to lift up somebody like Malcolm, and you say Malcolm was great, but Malcolm was a drug dealer and a hustler and a pimp and a thug before he ran into Elijah Muhammad and was able to transform his life and become one of the most significant figures in the struggle for liberation in this country for black and brown people. So, I mean, we have to have room. I think what Taraj said is 100% correct, you know, and I also agree with Norm, you know, that, I mean, there's certain things that we have to be a little firmer and sterner with because of the gravity of it. You know, you're talking about pedophilia and things of this nature. You know, like my mother would always tell me, you know, forgiveness you can get, but trust is something that you have to build
Facts.
back once it's
Facts.
broken, you know, so.
Absolutely.
Facts, man. Listen, again, I'm glad Taraji actually made that statement. And, you know, it came from a woman, and everything is just cancel culture right now. It's getting out of control.
Yeah, because they're using it for every little thing, and it's like, come on.
That plus, it's not even like you're saying, okay, well, let's, you know, because certain people that do certain things deal with a sickness, right? And certain people just made a mistake.
Right.
A wrong,
Right.
a mistake, a bad choice. Damn, I just made a bad choice at this moment.
Right.
So, like, I look at everything Jonathan Majors just had going for him, man. Like where he was about to go, and it's just all taken away.
Right.
It's done with. It's done with over that situation. And we know, of course, domestic violence is a terrible thing, right? Especially if it's like intentional domestic violence situations, whatever like that, right? So when we heard all the, you know, the stories and the evidence behind it, I'm like, man, it just didn't add up for this whole man's life to be taken away.
Right.
You know, like, again, you know, there's no redemption, no type of rehabilitation, no type of anything. Like, you're just done. It's done. I don't think he's not coming back from that. The way the industry is set up now and the environment is set up now, it's like He's done. There's no coming back from that. And it's sad because he's talented. He has a lot of talent. He still has a lot to offer the world. And it's a sad thing, man. It really bothers me.
I mean, I think in general, and I have to be careful here because I don't want to get your program into any trouble. But we can't address
ownership, bro. I own this. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I mean, we live in a society that is selective in how it judges violence. I mean, you talk about domestic violence, but let's just talk about violence. Violence is violence, whether it's domestic or whether it's outside of the home. What's the difference? Violence is violence. You can't endorse and support violence on one hand and then be against violence on the other hand. You can't say what he did is awful, but then what's going on in Gaza is okay.
And I get that.
Violence is violence.
And I get that. Listen, it just needs to be some things checked when it comes to things of that nature, for sure. Let me slide over to real quick. I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit. It's not really lightening up, but so Tasha K's in trouble again. So y'all remember Tasha K from when Cardi B sued her?
Yes.
Basically from making some statements that weren't true or whatever, some defamation situation. Cardi B won, and I think Tasha had to pay what $3 million. I think it was like $3 million.
Yeah.
To Cardi B or whatever the case may be.
Something else shortly after. I forgot with who, but there was another situation
she
right
got
after.
money like that to keep paying?
Nah, not at all. She had to file bankruptcy, right? So now she's into it with Kevin Hart.
Lord have mercy.
So here's the situation with Kevin Hart. So Kevin Hart files a lawsuit against Tasha K, accuses the YouTuber of attempting to extort him out of $250,000 not to release interview with his former assistant. Now, so the basis around this, in case you could read some of this, according to reports.
According to reports, comedian Kevin Hart recently filed a complaint against the commentator, claiming she attempted to extort $250,000 from him. Reportedly, Kevin Hart's legal team sent Tasha K a cease and desist letter back in November of this year after someone from her team allegedly reached out to them, threatening to release a damaging implicating him, his wife, Aniko Hart, the entertainment reporter, real name Latasha, what is it? I can't see. Lord, Transrena, I'm sorry. I ain't got my glasses. Key reportedly had her associate inform the actor's team that she had to sit down with his ex-assistant Maisha Shakes and claimed the conversation contained scandalous assertions against him. She messy.
Okay. Yeah. And just real quick, just that first paragraph. You got to read the whole thing.
From the top? Additionally, Tasha's confidant allegedly stated that Hart could avoid having the interview shared publicly if he agreed to pay $250,000. Upon getting the information, the Night School Star's lawyers say that they immediately sent word to Tasha expressing their intent to sue for extortion and defamation if she did not drop the situation.
Yeah, that's extortion.
Yeah.
She going to jail. But
it's like back to back with her. The one right before that was with Joe Budden.
Yeah.
Oh, she did have
because she got because they had an interview and at the last minute he decided not to air it and she got all pissed off and all hell broke loose. So now this.
Going back to what we was talking about in reference to cancel culture, Terrence Harris made a comment. Said mistakes and bad decisions can and should be forgiven, but if your lifestyle and habits are a contradiction, it deserves a spotlight. Sometimes those moments can reshape your life and bring humbleness where it's necessary. No, I agree with that. Depending on the situation, certain things don't warrant somebody's whole life being over with, destroyed, their whole livelihood, their whole career. But going back to Tasha K, I think, Kevin don't play. Kevin Hart's not playing with this. He's pursuing this, and he's going to try to get her locked up. He got receipts. So extortion is a crime.
Right.
You hitting somebody up, being like, listen, I ain't gonna release the story. Give me $250,000. Yeah. Which is
unless it's the IRS.
Yeah, facts. Facts. But I think she may wind up doing some jail time if this is not made right. So it's like, listen, I've never been into the whole smear type of blogging and podcasts and journalism, the way we do things. I've never been into the smear thing. Okay, we're going to get somebody on and we're gonna hit them with the pow,
Right,
you know,
right.
or whatever. That's not me. I don't like doing interviews like that. And even certain
So
people,
you ain't got no naked pictures of me, right?
Nah. I took them down, but we may put them up now. That I know my scene's been cut. We may put those up. So listen, just letting y'all know right now, off camera, I'm gonna talk to him. So you may see those scenes re-edited back into Delilah. By the time I talk to him, I got all the receipts.
Lawyer on
I
speed
kept
dial.
them
Lawyer
all.
on speed dial.
Damn, did I just extort myself? I did. All right. Forget that. Forget about that. No naked Daniel scenes. All right. So back to what we was talking about. I'm just saying, Tasha K, listen, it may be time for you to either change the way you do things or just give it up. Because they're coming for you. And people not playing no more, man.
Gosh.
People is not playing no more when it comes to these bloggers and people making up stories and whatever. And I'll tell you, anything we discuss or whatever, 9 times out of 10, we saying allegedly, or it came from here, or whatever like that. It's like you see us, we'll report things from the Jasmine brand or the Shade Room or whatever the case may be. Because my whole thing is, we had a situation here once, where we had a prominent hip-hop artist on, rapper, classic hip-hop artist, and he thought we was trying to set him up because he wanted us to review his music. So mind you, when we used to do music reviews here, we let the people decide.
Like the hot or not?
Yeah, the hot or not type situation, whatever, or rated on a scale from 1 to 5. 5 means hot, 1 means not. And we used to do that on the Cypher show. So this particular artist got real mad. We played a few of his songs, and people was like, trash, garbage, BS, this, that, live while he was on doing the interview. And it was like, yo, what's up? What I signed on to? Y'all trying to set me up? Blah, 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 blah. He got real belligerent on the interview. I'm like, nah, bro. You know, and then Chill was my, one of the hosts at the time, whatever like that. So we played one of the songs, and one of my hosts is like, side, this is side, but it's not whatever. And then I was like, yeah, this one is okay, blah, blah, blah. We reviewing all his tracks. He's playing real quick snippets. And he got real upset that we didn't just co-sign everything. We wanted to keep it 100 with the listeners. But mainly the people in the comment section, they was going in hard. I'll tell you after the interview who it was. Okay. But I felt bad, and then I seen him. I ran into him in New York. Right, I ran into the city. He was with his boys, whatever, like that. I was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" I was like, "Yo, this DJ Storm, blah blah blah." He was like, "Yeah, I know who you are, nigga."
I can't even tell.
He was like, "Yeah, what's up? You good?" I was like, "Yo, you good?" I was like, "Bro, let me stop you. Let me explain to you how our show works." And I explained to him whatever, but it was just like crazy, man. Like,
oh gosh. Yeah, because we'll even ask before an interview, like, is there anything that you're uncomfortable speaking about, whether we know the details or the allegations or whatever or not. We'll give the respect to say if there's anything that you don't want to speak about, we can scrap it. I've never, except for that one time, I've never even seen us going through anything like that. That's crazy.
Oh, we did. With Matthew Knowles.
With Matthew, yes.
Matthew Knowles.
Yeah.
We had Matthew Knowles on as a guest. But then
again, let's not. Yeah.
Let's keep it 100.
I'm out of touch. Who's Matthew?
Matthew Knowles is Beyonce's father.
Oh, Knowles. Matthew Knowles.
Yeah, Matthew Knowles.
It's one of those situations where we've experienced him in the past, and when you start talking like, I never met you before, or we don't know, one of those things, like you try to play kind of like Buck Fu online. Right, it's like, no te ponga tu video. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was one of those type of situations, and it kind of got a little bit that, it was to the point that I kind of like stopped, I digressed a little bit, and Norm was just like, and I'm just sitting here like,
but we brought it back.
We brought it back, yeah. But I sat here for a minute looking at the screen like,
we brought it back.
Sir,
it's about to go left.
Yeah.
It was about to go
I was like this,
left real hard and everything. But you got to, with doing this, I've been doing this for a minute. And we've dealt with some situations. Like I can write a book on some of the situations we've dealt with when it came to interviews and certain things at BKS1 Radio. I can really write a whole book on this station and do a whole movie. We could do a whole movie about the ish that goes on at this station. And with Matthew Knowles, it's funny because after the interview, his publicist hit us up, called us up. It's like, oh my God, thank you. I saw where it was about to go, and blah blah blah. And the way you guys handled it was so professional, and blah blah blah. It's like you cannot ask this man no questions about his daughter. Certain things you cannot ask this man or whatever. And we was just asking basic stuff that people knew already. And he was ready to black.
Something. I was like this.
Yeah, he was ready to black. Yo, me and her just looked at each other. You know, we doing the interview. We like,
we were doing the Will Smith when we looked at the camera.
Right.
Yeah, it was bad.
So, you know.
He tried it.
But it comes along. It comes with the game.
Now, territory,
now here's the other thing we want to discuss real quick before we, before we take it down. We want y'all complete honest opinion. So Dr. Umar. Y'all know who Dr. Umar is.
Yes.
He went on the podcast, the Joe Budden joint with Melissa Ford and everything like that. Shout out to Melissa. Love Melissa. But he went on there and basically, said some comments about Eminem, right? And basically he was trying to say that, listen, Eminem, because this is our culture, when it comes to hip-hop, he can't be called one of the best. He can't be the GOAT because hip-hop is black people's culture, is African Americans' culture. So you can never call him one of the best or the GOAT.
One of the best or the GOAT.
He was like the best of all times. That's how they said it in there, which is the GOAT. Greatest of all time, best of all times, right? You can't call him that because this is our culture, right? Even if he was trying to say you can't call him that just because this is our thing. And I thought about it, and I've heard the arguments before and everything like that, but I'm like, can we really go there? Can we really, this is one of the times I disagreed with Dr. Umar. I personally disagreed with him. And I'll get him on BKS. Whatever. I know some people that.
I would love to be here when you.
Yeah, I'll get him on BKS, but I actually disagreed with him. Here's what he said in context and everything. And let's talk about this because I want us to be totally transparent about this situation. Here's the clip.
Can do so as a hobby because whenever they want to take off their suit, they can put their white privilege suit right back on and pick up the privileges they had before they made the rap album. Eminem has all the privileges of a white male and the privileges of being in the hip hop community. So we got to be careful about letting non-Africans come into our community, benefit or participate in our culture when they get to leave at the end of the night. Jane Elliott can leave at the end of the night. You black forever. You can never take your costume off.
You don't think Eminem is one of the best rappers of all time?
According to who?
You. Rap fans.
Let me say something to you. And this is going to my African fundamentalism. No non-African can ever be the best of anything African. It is an insult to the ancestors, it is an insult to the race, and it is an insult to every black person. Do you think I could go to Palestine and be the best anything of Palestinian culture? You never see that. You think I could go to Israel and be the best of anything in Israel, whether it be a cook, an instrumentalist, a dancer? Hell no. And we have to stop naming non-African people, Joe.
But I disagree.
Stay with me though. Let me finish this. We got to stop naming non-African people as being the best of any aspect of our cultural product.
Joe, I think you
because
can.
it is an insult.
You
it is an insult.
We can acknowledge that the talent is the
yes, I can acknowledge Eminem's title.
We should.
But let me tell you.
Go ahead.
For you to put him at the top,
Let me ask you this.
that's white supremacy. That's white supremacy.
What's white culture?
I don't see Eminem building those schools and hospitals. I don't see DJ Khaled building those schools and hospitals. I don't see DJ Vlad building those damn banks and supermarkets.
Yo, I'm asking.
Hell no.
Let me ask you a question.
Ain't no non-African can be the best anything in my race. Can do so as a hobby.
All right, I get what he said. I'm on listen, man. I ride for my own just as much as anybody. But if that's the case, if you're gonna say it that way, then when we say we the best, and it don't matter whether it's athleticism, because he named a few things. He named cook, this, that, whatever, like that. I disagree. Because we are the best. We the GOATs in basketball. We are the GOATs.
Merit.
Huh?
But by merit.
No.
Yes.
Listen. No, listen. We the GOATs because of skill set.
But Eminem's not the GOAT based on his skills.
No, listen.
He's saying hip hop person,
right? And that's why I'm saying it. So let me finish this first. Let me finish this first, right? There's a lot of us that feel as though Eminem is up in there in their top 5. There's a lot of us that feel that way, right? Eminem's in their top 5 or whatever like that. One of the GOATs. And that's really the argument. He's one of the GOATs.
But that's not what was said.
No. But he was saying, because dude was saying the best of whatever like that. He's one of the best because I heard the whole podcast.
Right.
That's a clip. But he was saying one of the best, whatever, the GOAT, the whole nine, whatever. M is an extraordinary artist. He's an extraordinary lyricist, right? I never thought M was great at songs per se, right? Songs as far as, because I never really liked a lot of his tracks, a lot of the beats and whatever, right? I never was big on that.
And I don't relate to his music
but
at all.
but I do. He knows how to tell a story. If you listen to Stan and Lose Yourself, right, that he wrote for the movie, basically explain everybody trying to get in the hip hop story. You listen to those lyrics, and even if you're not trying to get into hip hop, anybody's trying to make it and explain their story.
What, 8 Mile?
Lose Yourself. The song Lose Yourself.
Oh, okay.
That was the main song
track.
off that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lose Yourself. You break down them lyrics, you're like, damn.
No, yeah, that was a good song.
Woo! So I'm like, okay.
I agree.
So M, So M, for anything from talking about the craze Stan. Caller from 973. State your name when you calling from. You on the Storm Warning Show. What's good?
What's good? It's the Troublemaker.
What's good? What's going on, Troublemaker?
I think...
Get to it, because I got to make my point. I didn't think you're supposed to call after I finish making my point, but go ahead.
I disagree with what that guy was saying. I think Eminem is a GOAT. You know what I mean? I think he put in his dues. Anybody could come in and be a rapper. Now, if you talk about Vanilla Ice, that's something different. But this guy here, Eminem, I think he put in his time. I think he put in his dues. And I think he should be considered as a GOAT. That's my opinion.
Right. And that's what a lot of this conversation is about opinions.
Well, it's all
it's all opinion. When you talk about top 5s and top 10s, it's all opinions and what you think. But the way he was saying it, like, you can never claim that just because you're not of a race or whatever like that. There's things we excelled in that we were the best at, or that we were GOATs in, like tennis with Serena Williams, like basketball. We can name a multitude of players in basketball, like golf. At one point,
true,
Tiger Woods was reigning in golf. He was a GOAT. He was a GOAT. When you say that term, it's one of the greatest of all time. He's one of the greatest.
Okay, see, for me,
right.
that title, though, when you say GOAT, you can't say GOAT without the definite article, the, in my opinion. So, one of the GOATs, I don't get that.
Yeah, but see, people say that with like boxers,
But
right?
see,
They say Mike Tyson's a GOAT. But hold up, Cass.
GOAT isn't specifically for black people.
Right, no, but hold up. No,
said
it's
that.
not. No, it's not.
No, he said it isn't.
Oh, right. You're right, Cass.
It isn't.
You say it isn't. No, and it's not. But listen, when you say GOAT, people say Mike Tyson was a GOAT, Ali's a GOAT. This, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, it's like Jay-Z, Rakim's a GOAT, KRS is a GOAT, blah 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 blah, whatever. But we cannot just limit that type of discussion and just say no. When it comes to us, black people, no white person can ever claim something that came from our culture and say that they're the best at it, because the opposite flip of it, a lot of things, basketball, that's James Naismith. Tennis was created by a white person. Listen. Right. Tennis was created by a white person. Golf, white person. And the list goes on and on. We just excel at things. If we excel at something, we can become the GOAT at it. It is what it is. Again, I know a black guy that makes Italian food better than some Italians. Right? So he's a better cook. He's better than they are at it.
But I told you the Moors started that.
Yeah, but he learned it. He learned it and he mastered it and whatever like that. And this is what we do with a lot of things. So when it comes to Dr. Umar's argument, when it comes to this thing, that particular point, I disagree. Like, bro, now you can't really say, because you got to look at all the things that we excel at that they created. Now, and you want to get deep? Y'all really want to get deep? Let's talk about the movie industry. Let's talk about the film industry. Who created the film industry? The Jewish people. Jewish people basically created it. But it was a Frenchman that and I forgot the name. And actually the word cinema came from this Frenchman's name that actually started it, right? So my thing is, but we got a hold of it. We learned the craft. We mastered it. Black folks are some damn good filmmakers. And black folks are some damn great
to adjust.
good actors. But listen, so we became masters of some things that they started. So going back to Dr. Umar's argument, I gotta call flag on the play because I don't totally agree with what he said.
And do you think he was being a little bit racist?
Well,
no,
just a little bit.
He can't be racist.
Black people cannot be racist.
He can't be racist.
We cannot
Why
be
not?
racist. Because, do you understand what the word racism means? Racism is racism is prejudice with power. You have to have the ability to negatively impact someone based on your prejudiced views in order to be racist. Black people have never had the power to be racist. Now, black people can prejudge other people and we can be biased, but you cannot be racist. So I don't think his comments were racist, but I do understand where Brother Umar is coming from. I don't agree with it 100% either, like Brother Norm is saying, because I do think that any person, whether it's hip-hop, rap, music, whatever, can excel and become one of the best at something. I mean, I love the Beatles. I think they're one of the greatest rock and roll bands in history, but white people didn't create rock and roll. Black people did, but they are still one of the greatest, and I enjoy listening to their music.
But that's the key word, one of. And I think, like,
That
going back
was
to
my
what Ali just said a little while ago, that's always been I remember the first time I heard it. So don't judge me if it came out before that. But it was the Who Shot You remix, LL's verse at the end. LL Cool J, the greatest of all time. So my whole thing is...
Who's you, like 14? But go ahead.
What I'm saying is, can we give him that respect to say that he's one of the greatest of all times? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because his catalog...
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, his catalog and his career speaks for itself. But I think when people start throwing out this GOAT thing, it's almost like... Yeah, this person's dope, but then it's like you don't leave any room for anybody else to be as dope. So we can't sit here and say that someone, like you said, can be. It's confusing in a way too. Like, oh, one of the GOATs. It just sounds stupid. You're either the best or you're not. But I don't think that there's a such thing as the best because we could sit here and talk about how Muhammad Ali was an amazing fighter. But we can also talk about Amanda Holyfield. We can also talk about Oscar de la Hoya, whether you agree or not.
Ali
we can also
was
talk
the best
about
in his
Mike Tyson.
era.
Yeah. But Mike Tyson was a beast. Like we have so many
in his era.
Whether that be true or not, but I'm saying in every aspect of the word, whether it be every category, we can speak. We can talk about, like you said, the film industry. Some people to say, oh well, and I'm being funny as hell right now, being sarcastic, but you can say, oh well, Shogun was the greatest martial artist, and you're like, well, I think Bruce Lee was. Like, what are we talking about? Like at the end of the day. Your greatness is your greatness.
Shogun was great though.
But to say, but my thing is to say the GOAT and leave no room for anybody else to be amazing as well is stupid to me.
No.
Okay, so
because
you can say Eminem was the GOAT in his era.
Right, but
can you give that man that much?
He was one of.
But see,
he's the best
because you can't talk about
you
can't talk about Eminem without sitting here and also having a discussion about Jadakiss, or also having a discussion about Biggie, or also talking about Pac, or Busta, or Rakim.
You can have the same argument with Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy.
Absolutely.
Both of them was great.
And even nowadays, like even with in current
Richard Pryor was the
years,
best in his era. Eddie Murphy was the best in his era.
Can I just say?
But
this?
like I think Joyner Lucas there's not enough conversations about Jordan Lucas as far as I'm concerned, as far as a lyricist.
Right.
He's just like disrespectful, talented though.
I mean,
but again, you have to
I
leave
think
room
Mos
for people
Def
to be able to
is
shine.
One of the greatest lyricists.
But see, again, now listen.
Hello.
Now all of what we saying right now is definitely opinion, right?
Right.
So now if you
Absolutely.
start adding criteria to our discussions, it changes the playing field, right? So if you listen, so if you start adding criteria, when I say criteria when it comes to artists, I'm meaning sales.
Yeah,
I'm
sales,
meaning
accolades.
radio
Yes,
players,
yes,
accolades, awards, this, that. If you start adding criteria to it, that changes the whole playing field. It takes the personal opinions out of it.
KRS said it himself in the track.
I don't think
when
it's
he
a
said-
bad thing to compartmentalize.
KRS said himself when he said these guys today thinking record sales make them the dopest. Record sales is not what should be an indicator of who is the best. Because just because your record sells more doesn't mean you're the best.
Right.
That's just a fact. But I want to.
Yeah, 'cause we got a lot of trash that sold
sold.
billions, and we're like, Blueface, really?
Brother
I said
mentioned
it.
Vanilla Ice. Ice Baby sold millions and millions. It was one of the first really
Right.
big platinum joints, but it was garbage.
It was trash.
But it
Even though
sold.
we knew
So
every
now is
lyric.
Vanilla Ice one of the
Right.
greatest because he had that record? No, of course not.
Your
And
marketing team was one of the
right,
greatest.
I'm not
Right.
comparing Vanilla Ice to Eminem. I think it's a tremendous difference
Big
between
difference, yeah.
Vanilla Ice and
Absolutely.
Eminem.
Back to what Umar was
But
saying.
I do want to.
Grab the mic, bro, because
It was going back to what Umar was saying, though. At the end of the day, he still has his white privilege to fall back on, just like the Beastie Boys.
Yeah,
Pull the mic
I agree.
towards you a little
But
bit.
I do want to say this one point, kind of in defense of Dr. Umar. I understand where he's coming from. I think what Dr. Umar is trying to point out is the same Elvis Presley syndrome.
I get where he's coming from.
And I think he's trying to make a point that black people in general, we tend to be so quick to jump and give give accolades to someone else outside of our community for doing something as opposed to bringing that recognition at home. So he's just trying to make a point that in this culture, this is a culture that didn't exist before us. And now this culture has grown to beyond us, and that the whole world now is appreciating. I remember, like you remember, Norm, because you're a hip-hop person, you remember when we couldn't hear rap music on the radio.
Facts.
Now you can't listen to the radio. Every commercial, every song, everything is hip hop. There's not even any more genres anymore. It's all just hip hop, which now for me is also is just as disappointing as it was when we couldn't hear it.
Absolutely.
You know, so I think what Dr. Umar is just trying to say is that we are so fractionalized and splintered in our community and so mentally backwards that we still are trying to find the great white hope in everything that we do.
But you know what? But it's not even that. Sometimes you gotta. I don't mean to say it like this, but call a spade a spade. Yeah. It's like Eminem is talented,
very talented,
period.
Very talented.
Now, could I have said the same thing about Third Base? No. Could I have said the same thing about the Beastie Boys? No. They made good party records.
That album was dope.
Yeah, but they
That
made
one
good
album
They made good party records and everything like that. Eminem came along.
He's a different breed.
Different.
He stayed in the game.
Different breed.
But see, Eminem is consistent though.
That's what I'm saying.
Consistent, but even but again, he said he admitted he studied Tretch.
He did.
Eminem admitted. Yeah. I studied Tretch.
And I heard one of his records where he even referenced himself as being, I'm not the first white person to come in and take advantage of black music and, like Elvis. He admits it. He knows the time that he's in. And I will say this, he is talented. Now, I'll pose this question to you. Mm-hmm. As talented as he is, and for the caller, as talented as he is, and mind you, I'm not an Eminem fan. I don't really feel his music, but I do recognize his talent.
I just like Lose Yourself, but go ahead.
As talented as he is, and with the body of work that he has accomplished, if he were black, would we be having this conversation?
No, we wouldn't. But this is.
Would there even be anybody fighting saying Eminem is the GOAT?
Now, but listen, that's the same argument we could have with Tiger Woods.
Because Tiger Woods, his record shows that he was better than everybody else.
No, but listen. But listen, that was still always disputed when it came to what was the dude before Tiger, Jack Nicklaus or whatever.
Nicklaus.
Yeah. So there was always that argument. So when Tiger Woods came in the game, and this is why a lot of people make the same reference when it comes to M and Tiger Woods, because like to white people it was like, here they go. You know what I'm saying? Now they claiming golf. You know what I'm saying? Here goes Serena. Now they claiming tennis. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to give props to where props is due.
100%.
Like Serena was undeniable. Tiger Woods was undeniable at that time.
Right.
When M came out, right? Now, was he the dopest rapper that ever did it? Or was he the dopest white boy that ever did it? He was the dopest white boy
By far.
that ever
By
did
far.
it, right?
By far.
But
By
then we saw he was really about the culture.
Right.
Like he really wasn't just a culture vulture. M was just hip hop. He loved hip hop,
Right.
and he gave every type of praise to hip hop artists, producers, whatever the case may be.
True.
And guess who was signed to Eminem? 50 Cent.
Right.
50 was signed. So all the albums we heard from 50 early on was Eminem's company, right? But here's what I love about the whole thing. So like here we go, another white boy now owning a black artist, Eminem. 50 Cent signed to him, but Eminem was signed to Dre. So the same situation.
And who was Dre signed to?
And who was Dre signed to? Jimmy Iovine. Right? Interscope.
And he ain't signed to nobody.
Yeah. So my whole thing is we have to look at certain things and just be honest with it. Just be honest with it. And this is what the problem I had with Dr. Umar's statement. I'm like, no, bro, because it's the flip side too. It still is the flip side too when it comes to this whole the best at situation. There's a flip side to it. And then if you really want to go deep with it, now I'm gonna say this, and I'm going to definitely get in trouble for this.
Okay.
But again, guess why I don't care? I own the station. So I'm going to say this. And inbox me later. Don't do it now. I'm on the show. Don't text me now. But if it was not for Jewish people loving black culture so much when it comes to our music, because they were the machine behind us getting listen, and I could.
We going back into Cadillac Records?
No, we going no. Listen. Let's be honest. We did not have the resources.
Yeah, but that don't mean they love the music, brother. They love the
they love the money.
They love the money behind.
No, they love the
That's
love
why
the money.
Our artists died broke and on drugs, and they died leaving millions.
But
to
listen,
their families.
not saying they treated. They treated.
They
the culture right. But
you ever
listen,
heard the joke? No, I don't want to say.
But listen.
They raped
listen.
the culture.
Listen.
They raped
Gotta
the
say
culture.
this. When it come to hip hop, right? So with Def Jam, you have Rick Rubin, right?
Rick Rubin, I give
right?
props to.
With Def Jam, you have Rick Rubin.
I give props to Rick Rubin.
Then you got Steve Rifkin, and then you got what's the other? Oh my God, what's the other dude? Steve Rifkin, because he was with Lau. The one that was that Irv Gotti dealt with. I just can't think of his name.
I know,
but it was always right. Some prominent Jewish guy, whatever, like that, right? So the advantage that they had. Now listen, before you say no, don't say it wasn't. No, listen. We always been talented. We always been gifted as a people. Our culture, we always been gifted. We always had the talent, but you still had to have a machine behind you to make it, right? So even when it comes to like Sylvia Rome, right, and Sugar Hill Records and all of that, they still had to have a machine behind them to push those records worldwide, to make these records worldwide, whatever like that. So the combo, when the combo came together, us and them, it was always it always went to another level. Now, you had a culture like the Jewish people and black people that was not liked by Europeans. They wasn't liked by the white people, but they still
they're white too.
But listen, they are white too.
Yeah,
but
the
they still
Akenashis
they can
are
walk
not
they can
the-
walk a record in to get it played when we couldn't
because they're white.
because they're white.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times,
You're making my point.
But a lot of times, like they think they're using us, and this is what the point I'm trying to get to. Like they think they're using us. We use them too. And the game is flipped around like that. The
Yeah,
game.
but we got the short end.
Well,
of
we
the
needed
stick.
them. We needed them to jump up so we can be noticed, though.
We got the short end of the stick in that relationship.
No,
We definitely got to show us. And by the way, my man, I'm not the caller. My name is the troublemaker.
Okay, troublemaker.
Now listen.
brother.
I was supposed to cut you off a while ago, man. Thanks for reminding me. Thanks for calling in, Cass. Thanks for calling in.
You got noticed they got paid.
Thanks for calling in, Cass. All right.
Holla, one love, baby.
Peace.
Peace. And you know, the thing is, if you look back over the history, brother, and we're talking history, so let's get into it. If you look back over the history and you see those early pioneers in blues and jazz and rock and roll, and even in the R&B music, these young black kids from the ghetto, they wanted to be known. They wanted to be popular. They wanted to be famous. Money wasn't really the idea for them, and that's why we didn't get the
We
money.
know that, but listen. And this is somebody. I'm having a real conversation right now with y'all, right? About the whole, just the industry and just the whole essence of it, right? And from without the marketing, right? And early on, without the marketing, without all the business pieces behind it, right? We probably would have never heard of.
Nobody disputes that.
Listen,
Nobody,
listen.
that-
But
that makes my
this is
point,
where I'm
though.
trying to get to. We probably would have never heard of Little Richard, whatever.
Sure.
Now listen, once we got hip to, damn, we should be owning our own masters. Well, damn, we should be owning our own publishing.
Thanks to Ray Charles.
Well, damn, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Going all the way back to him.
He
With
was the
Ahmed.
first one.
With Ahmed from Atlantic Records, right? So going all the way back to him, you still had to have somebody that sees the bigger picture, right?
Sure.
Because all we wanted to do was what? Play.
Play.
And
We-
perform.
We had the love
That's-
for the, yeah.
We had the love for the talent. So you have to have that business structure around it. But see,
100%.
there's some smart. A lot of us got smart and say, you know what is this masters thing they're talking about? What is this publishing thing they're talking about? What is this ownership thing they're talking about? And once we got hip to the game, that's when they got to change. Oh, damn, we got to change the playing field because they're getting hip to the game. But I still say when I hear the they rape whatever like that. Once you learn about ownership and you become an owner, it frees you from all of that. It frees you from a lot of that.
To a degree.
No,
Well-
but it does because I could tell you some.
degree.
Yeah, I could tell you somebody right now that's profiting heavy off the music industry and don't need the machine, right? Because I'm gonna be careful how I say it, but they don't need the other folks behind them, right? Because they learned the game so much and they mastered it. Again, going back to the whole Dr. Umar thing with once we master something and we become great at it, I see right now who's benefiting from that, right? And he's quiet about it. This is why he hasn't been shut down. He's quiet about it. I'm surprised he shouldn't even say his name. But do you know how much money the baby is making?
Yeah, but let me say this. You're right. But what you talk about the bigger picture. So I'm going to ask you to see the bigger picture here. Just because one or two or three of us get to that place, no person can rise above his people. So until we all get to that point or have that same ability, that doesn't mean that we all going to become multimillionaires, but that we all have the potential for it, which is what Brother Umar was saying, how he can take off the hip hop and walk out into a whole nother thing. I mean, look at today. All of the conservatives of today who want to enforce all of these conservative rules were the hippies of the 60s and 70s. But they took off the dirty clothes and shaved the beard and cut the hair, and they became corporate America.
Let me ask you something.
So until we all get to the place where any of us have the potential to truly rise to that level, none of us have reached.
But let me ask you something, bro. And going back to this whole thing, what I'm trying to say about the Jewish people's role in the success of black music.
Which I don't think was done out of love.
It wasn't done out of love. But check this out.
It was a business arrangement.
There's a reason why God allows the devil to exist.
100%.
You hear what I said?
And I agree.
There's a reason why God allows the devil to exist. Wait a minute. Not calling the other people. No way. No way. Let me clear that up now. Don't be clipping stuff up. And be like, no one said, whatever like that. And next thing you know, I can't get into my office. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. No, I'm saying overall with the industry.
Things happen for a reason.
Yeah. Things happen. There's a reason why, whatever. But this is why too, we have to take it upon ourselves to understand whatever business we're involved in, we have to learn it and understand it.
Fact.
Right? You have to understand, like, I didn't just let somebody give me a contract. I took classes on contract comprehension.
Right.
So I know how to read a contract and I know how to construct a contract.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
So, because I knew it was necessary because I knew the business that I was in. And then I got books upon books and everything, and I read tons of books and everything like that. So nobody can tell me nothing about this. No, you're wrong about that because X, Y, and Z. I know what recoupment means. I know this. I know that. So I understood all of that. So when it comes to the other folks that were the head of whatever, you still have to understand whether you're Jewish, whether they were white, whether they were German, whatever race they were, and they had us signed to them or whatever. There was a benefit that went on both parts, but it's our responsibility to learn what they know, so we can become independent, right? And we can free ourselves of certain situations in certain circumstances.
And
this is all I'm saying.
I think we're moving there, and I think, for example, me as a filmmaker, it's, today with the streaming and why we were just talking a minute ago, how Amazon now is wanting to charge because they want to put ads now in the films, and you can pay an additional $2.99 to not have ads, to remove the ads. But all of these things, what Netflix is doing and what these other groups are doing, they're doing this because the streaming industry is threatening the status quo.
Right.
Because now people like myself, I have direct contact with my audience. I can reach directly to my audience with the help of brothers like Omar Salgado and those others, and what Dame Dash is doing with the American News platform. He's giving content creators, filmmakers, and people an opportunity to market directly to the consumer without going through these big companies. This is a threat to them. So they're going to try to come up with any way that they can to still get their piece of what they see as their piece of the pie. So, as we evolve, they're evolving.
Right.
So, they got to do what they got to do, and we have to do what we have to do.
Facts.
And that's really, so for me, I understand. I read Ray Charles's book, and I'm not going to lie to you. That book was very, very influential for me. I read it years ago, but so much of it applies, even though I'm not technically in the music industry. But Ray Charles understood the business of show business. And when, he talked about the business aspects of things and understanding, what his worth was and how to negotiate and develop to the point where he was able to do the things. He pushed the needle forward. Without Ray Charles, Prince would have never been able to do what he did.
Right. Absolutely.
Because he laid the foundation for that. So, as a filmmaker, me coming in now, when I make a film, when I'm shooting a film, like Omar's come to me, with groups, hey, we got some funding for this, funding for that. And as tempting as it is, I pass. Not because I don't need it, but because I know there's strings comes with that. And if I'm going to make a product or a film that is authentic in what the message I'm trying to get out, I need to try to be as independent in that process as I possibly can.
Right.
So when I go into a project, understanding that. So when I write a script, I'm writing a script based on what I know my budget can facilitate. I'm not writing a script that's gonna cost more than what I can produce, because then I'm gonna have to go to someone else to make that happen.
Right. No, and I got it.
You know.
No, I got you. I got you with that. You know, my thing is, I just need people to be honest when we have these conversations about other cultures and us coexisting with other cultures, especially when it comes to the music business. Because can we be honest and say that music, they learned from us.
100%.
Music, they learned from us. Yeah. The business of music, we learn from them.
100%. 100%.
So this is the honest conversation. This is the honest conversation we have to have.
I'm not against a relationship. It just can't be the master-slave relationship.
No, facts.
That's what I'm against.
Yeah.
But I'm 100% for a relationship, a mutually beneficial relationship.
Absolutely.
That's where two equal parties come together and see one another and what each other has to offer as a mutual benefit. So there's mutual respect, and when there's mutual respect, there can be mutual cooperation and mutual benefit.
Absolutely. You know, I want to clap it up. I see it's getting late, but I want to clap it up, man, because the dialogue we having and the conversation we having, man, it's awesome.
Very deep.
Needed, deep conversation. This is what you get when you come here on the Stone Warning Show Thursday nights and everything. I want to thank our guests, director Daniel Ali, filmmaker, author, writer, all of that, and just overall good person, man. And listen, and you see the respect I have from him after he cut me out of the film.
I was waiting.
After he cut me out of the film.
Hey, Corey Brumfield cut you out.
And I think I might have dated one of Corey's girlfriends, and that's why he probably did it.
I'm throwing Corey under the bus. No, but you're not cut out the film, my brother. You're not. You are very prominent in the film, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on February 4th at the Cityplex Theater when we have the live screening.
All right, I'll throw my pettiness
so
away.
We'll be promoting,
I will show up.
We will be promoting we can, right? We can promote the flyer
absolutely.
for the screening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tickets are limited, so you know it's going to be a first come first serve.
Right.
You know, But
okay.
I definitely cast and crew got to be there.
Absolutely.
All right, so y'all make sure y'all come and support that. The film is called Delilah by Daniel Ali. Come support that.
February
come
4th.
And just rock out and just
make sure they look for it on Valentine's Day. On American New Network.
Yes.
So Apple TV, Android TV, Fire TV, Roku.
Yes. For now.
I'm talking with somebody about Amazon Prime.
For now.
That will be amazing. Speak it out. Manifestation.
The re-edit. Can we get more of me back in the film? Nah, let me stop.
You know what?
You see that? That's that BS. We can't just do things. You know what I'm saying? It's always got to be a catch. Really all right, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is, man. Stone Warning Show will be back next Thursday. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hope y'all enjoyed the discussion. Just different minds, you know, with different views, different opinions, and everything. No opinion, no thought process is wrong and everything. We appreciate all of y'all.
Let me shout out my manager, Talanda Ross.
Go ahead. Shout out.
Talanda Ross, shout out to you. Thank you for everything.
Yes. And shout out to Felicia Felton. That's right. My Aquarius sister. Let me clap it up for my Aquarius sister. She's at my birthday. I think when the film comes out is Felicia's birthday. What day is it?
Valentine's Day?
Oh, you talking about the
Nah,
the
Felicia, you the 5th.
The day
Love
after,
you too.
Monday.
Felicia, I think you the 5th, right?
So tell
I'm
them to
the
come
9th.
celebrate with us on the 4th.
Am I wrong, Fee? I always thought you was on the February 5th. Alicia just clapped it up. She gave us love. Shout out to everybody, man, that's been giving us the love. Shout out to Kinshasa on the check-in. Terrence, love the vibe. The 4th. I knew it was.
This is on the 4th.
Yeah, the 4th.
Yeah, that's her birthday. Come out and have a birthday gift.
Yes.
See the film.
Yes, and my birthday's the 9th. All right, y'all. I thank everybody for rocking out with us. We'll see y'all next week. We got to throw a party. We got to do Aquarius party, Felicia. Let's set that up. But again, we'll see y'all next Thursday.
Everybody have a happy New Year.
Happy
a
New
safe
Year.
One. Drink responsibly.
Oh.
Hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas and whatever else you celebrate.
Yes.
This is the last show of the year, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I did want to show. Do I even got the clip now? I did want to show this clip about about life in general, about we own nothing. We really don't own
Not even
nothing.
ourselves.
Right.
We don't own
borrowed time. Yeah.
nothing. And I want to run this clip by y'all real quick. All right, for the new year. All right, here's the clip.
You own nothing, you lose nothing. If you buy land or buy a house, you have only paid rent for the remaining years you have on earth. None of them belong to you. If you buy a car, you have only paid for your transport for the period the car will last or for the period you will last. It doesn't belong to you. If you marry a spouse, you have only got company until circumstances or death do you part. No one owns the other. If you have children, you have only fulfilled the demand of continuity of life until death comes. You don't own them. That's why the state still dictates how you bring them up. If you have money, you have only amassed value to purchase what you want for your remaining number of years on earth. The notes belong to the central bank. If you work and retire, your pension is only for life. After your life, it stops. Even if you eat and get filled, the food in your belly isn't yours. You must defecate it back to earth. The body itself, which you cherish so highly, doesn't belong to you. The earth will certainly reclaim its bits when the loan is due. Even the life we live is borrowed, and surely will be returned. So let us not be afraid of losing anything in this life, because we do not own anything here. You own nothing, you lose.
That was deep. That was deep.
That's something that 100 billion Buddhists already know.
Yeah. And on that note, y'all, Happy New Year. And let me say this to y'all. Don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life. Do not live the same year 75 times and call it a life.
Yes.
Make some changes. Do something different.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Robin Sharma on that one. Peace and blessings. God bless. We out. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Go forgive somebody.
Wow,
Necessary.
that was an
Very
interesting
necessary.
program. You brought up some good stuff, boy.
We need to have a Venus versus Mars. I need to have like a male.
Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.